When we're looking at ways of freeing ourselves from worries and fears, it's probably worth remembering that positive supporting messages are all around us if we can find them and if we can see them. One example is Disney's film Frozen. Now, that was very popular all over the world, as we know. But when I speak to people, a number of them are surprised when I say that that famous song, Let It Go, within that 3-minute song, the whole of the human journey is there. Interesting, isn't it? Because it begins with the Princess Elsa complaining and constrained by what we call socially conditioned consciousness. I've tried to be the good girl they always wanted me to be. Don't let them in, don't let them see who I really am. And she's been labouring under that, if you remember, locked in a room for many years. But now her real self bursts out and she has to leave. And then she sings, Let It Go. She throws off her cloak and enters that self-realization in the storm, stamping her feet, saying, here I am and here I stay. So she's moved from socially conditioned consciousness to self-actualization. And then at points in the song she sings, I am one with the wind and the storm. I am one with the breaking dawn. This is universal consciousness, a connection with the understanding previously talked about by the seers and the mystics and the poets of understanding and being deeply connected with the whole unity of all the universe, the unity of existence. Interesting. So in that 3-minute song, she goes from socially conditioned consciousness to self-actualization to universal consciousness. And then she sings she's never going back. But those of you who are aware of the hero's journey will understand that when the hero has realized themselves, they have to go back and use the gifts, the secrets they've discovered to serve the community to which they belong. And of course, once that ice palace has been created, the rest of the film is about the princess's journey back to her community to help it. Amazing when you think of that. It's all in that song. And the other great thing is that that song was popular all over the world, in loads of different countries, in loads of different cultures. Young girls in particular were receiving that message through a song that most of them could sing word perfectly now in the years later. Now, when I was young, what song was the Disney princess singing? She was singing, Someday My Prince Will Come, while she was doing the housework for 7 dwarves, who of course were off at work, as men were. Now there is a whole generation of young women who are raised on that song of true self-discovery, of true liberation at the deep personal spiritual level, and then bringing that back, integrating into true community service. All within a Disney cartoon encapsulated within a 3-minute Disney song. Now we know that most media is really, there's a lot of aggression, a lot of brutality, there's a lot of negativity. But just as with the original Frozen film, these deep message of growth and evolution, possibility and positivity are there if we find them. And for me, it's no surprise that it was so successful, because everybody deep inside has a deep hunger, a deep desire for that message and that positive, liberating energy.